Alright, so it's been a minute. Definitely had some stuff come up and been really busy with personal matters in life. But I did actually play the Vanillite Community Day over the weekend here. And I did want to try out using Vanilluxe in the Great League. And, you know, full disclosure, I don't particularly think this thing feels much better at the moment. Maybe in a more exclusive meta, it might shine more. But yeah, I have not played Go Battle League in over 2 months. I made that video at the beginning of the season, and then a bunch of stuff just came up. But great to be back for a little bit, easing back into the content creation here. So if you're enjoying the video, please hit the like button. It does help my content out. And I am actually out of town at the moment. I'm over on the East Coast visiting my family, trying to help out a bit. Yeah, I've been living out in SoCal for like 10 years, so yeah, we'll see what happens here. But anyways, to start off this battle, so the team, it's Primeape with Gastrodon with Water Pulse and Vanilluxe in the back. And a lot of times, as you saw there, you know, I could just bait with Rage Fists and potentially get a shield, but a lot of times they were going to expect me to bait. So going for the close combat there actually worked out really good for me because I one-shot Lapras. In comes Jumpluff, which can be a little problematic considering that Vanilluxe is running Astonish as a fast attack. So it's Astonish, Avalanche, Flash Cannon for Vanilluxe, by the way. I mean, it can do good in some scenarios, obviously. Things that are weak to Ghost, it's gonna not appreciate getting hit by Astonish, but it doesn't, it's kind of slow. I'll admit it's like kind of slow, not really like outputting the craziest amount of damage. And yeah, in this scenario, fortunately for me, I think I can just farm down at this point on the Jumpluff, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think they can. Oh no, I see what I did. You know what? I kind of messed up here, actually. I should have shielded there. But yeah, I'm a little rusty, and I wasn't really sure. Like, I was trying to test the waters out too with Vanilluxe, see like what kind of damage it can take. I don't know. Maybe it could have spammed. I can't remember how much energy that Jumpluff had, but I was almost feeling like it had too much energy, and maybe I couldn't have even farmed down. But honestly, I probably could have farmed down with Astonish in that last match. Avalanche off on Clodsire here. In comes the Blastoise. I'm just going to throw the Avalanche just to get a little bit of chip damage, and it will be able to farm me down. I'm going to bring in Primeape here to pick up where we left off. And I'm going to commit the shield, and I'm going to try to go for the Rage Fist. Honestly, Primeape is probably the best Pokemon on the team. Gastrodon, I put Water Pulse on it just purely because of the rise of Talonflame this season. I mean, Talonflame's always been relatively good, but definitely feels like there's a lot of Talonflame, even when I was playing last time. And honestly, I just didn't want to TM my Gastrodon also because I did have Water Pulse on it. My charge TM situation is actually not too bad since I've been playing somewhat casually over the past couple months. And yeah, my mom, she loves playing Pokemon Go, so I've actually kind of been playing with her a little bit. But you know, not like a crazy amount. I'm still kind of casual for the most part right now. But yeah, see, there's Talonflame right there, and interesting enough, I think they do commit the shield, which, you know, makes sense, I guess, with the Brave Bird going off too. They don't want to like take too much damage, but they don't have any shields left. And what I gotta do is I gotta go for the Rage Fist immediately with Primeape. They are able to get off their move first, so I'm going to charge just a slight amount of extra energy. I probably could have got way more there, honestly. I'm so rusty on my counts and such. But in the back line is Azumarill, and I also wanted to see how much can I take here. They do end up going for the Ice Beam. That works out relatively good for me. I'm going to go for Flash Cannon since it will do more damage than Avalanche here. And then I'm going to continue to Astonish down And I think I decide, you know what, I'm just going to let this go. And I'm going to bring in Primeape for the closing situation. So the Rock Tomb off, that's a little unfortunate, of course, to get that attack drop. But I don't know if I could have even farmed down anyways, so I pretty much, you know, I maybe could have farmed down without the attack drop. I don't know, but regardless, I can outpace and get to the Rage Fist, so GG's. Alright, this is a great lead for me, as you can tell. They end up bringing in the Sableye, which, you know, I'm so not used to the... I mean, it's been so long since I've played, but even bringing on new Pokémon Vanilluxe, I definitely made some errors in how I played out some of these matches in general, not really making the right switch in, or, you know, switching out too early, not throwing a move before I switch out. A lot of little, like, nuanced plays that, you know, in time become a little more obvious as you get more familiar with the team. They end up having Golisopod on the team, which ends up being really good at kind of like dealing with what I have available. I don't really have anything on my team that can actually hit this thing significantly, unfortunately. And it does resist pretty much the ground and water moves as well. So I bring back in Primeape. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist into Golisopod, because it's really all I have. And yeah, at this point, it's fairly confident that's GG, because this Golisopod is tearing up right through my team. I'm going to go for the Rage Fist. It does knock out, and I just barely am able to clutch it, as you saw there. Yeah, Golisopod can be extremely problematic, but fortunately, I just had enough. As you saw, I just barely won that one, and I actually could have gone for the close combat, but it didn't really matter which move I used, but I kind of panicked there as well, because my health was dwindling. So 3-2 set to start off. I mean, definitely not too shabby. I mean, definitely had some tough matchups, actually. Some good team alignment for my opponents. Grumpig here, looking pretty good, actually, for Vanilluxe, considering that this is a Psychic type Pokemon, and my Fast Attack is actually destroying it. So in comes Mandibuzz, and you know what? I should have considered potentially even just saving this move, but I ended up going for the Avalanche, and I get the shield, so probably could have benefit from saving that, maybe trying to get the shield in a different scenario, and then having the Vanilluxe throw the Avalanche later in the fight. But again, these are all little just like nuanced moves and decisions. In comes Clodsire. Not the worst case scenario, considering that I do have Gastrodon, and I do also have Water Pulse on my Gastrodon, which could allow me to help deal with the Mandibuzz. So in this situation, I did actually catch the move properly, and I waste all the energy on Earthquake, which is really beneficial for me, because now I can pretty much take an EQ, and I'm hoping that I can do enough damage here with Water Pulse into Mandibuzz. I mean, Mandibuzz is super bulky. Fortunately, that does do enough damage, and I can get to the Body Slam to finish up the match here, and that is a GG. Also, I just wanted to let people know, if you're a follower of the channel, you know I've been putting out some solo music over the last year. I even put out a music in regards, I put out a music video on my channel in regards to a song I made about Pokemon Go. If you want to check it out, it's called Microtransactions Can Be Fun. Should be able to find it here on the channel. But I actually have a new song coming out. It should be today when this video is released. If it's not today, it will be tomorrow. It's called Millions of Fish by Rob Sassy. That's my name. It's not just my solo music is just being released under my name. I'll have links in the description or in the comments below if it is when it does go live. So if you want to check it out, it would mean a lot to me. But yeah, this is a scenario where I think I kind of make a mistake, because it's been so long since I've played. I actually completely forgot that Ariados actually gets Trailblaze these days. I mean, it's not that new, but it definitely slipped my mind, because whenever I brought in Gastrodon, I was thinking, oh, there's nothing this can do to me, but of course it can. Surprisingly, I can still live the first Trailblaze, which is kind of nuts, but you'll kind of see that ends up costing me a lot here, because if I remember correctly, they're actually running a Charge-a-Bug in the back line. So yeah, this is just game over pretty much at this point. I mean, even in this scenario, I was wondering if I threw the Avalanche first and then switched into Primeape and went for Rage Fist, could that have been enough damage? But honestly, I don't think it would have been. I mean, look how much health it had. I don't know an Avalanche is going to be doing like 60% damage to a Charge-a-Bug. So GG's. But yeah, as you can tell, feeling a little rusty, and I just kind of wanted to make the video to touch base with the community here, and you know, people have stuck around. I'm very appreciative. Yeah, I'm not like done making content or anything. I've just kind of taken a break just because of the nature of how things have been working out lately in life. You know, gotta prioritize a lot of other things usually instead of just tapping my screen. But yeah, this one with the Golbat, I tried to make some risky plays catching the Poison Fangs. I mean, even here, potentially could have just taken it and switched out. But it's okay because it doesn't particularly hinder too much in the battle. I don't want to be taking too much damage from the Frostlass, so I'm going to actually throw the Rage Fist and switch out Primeape to try to preserve as much HP on it as I possibly can. And they make a good call, and they actually catch a Shadow Ball on my Gastrodon. I'm going to go for Water Pulse into Double here, and I can get off another move in the form of Body Slam, which will bring down Double close enough. And fortunately for me, they actually kind of panic and throw a Body Slam. So that allows me to just bring in Primeape and go for a Farm Down, which allows me to get that Rage Fist off into Frostlass to just close up the battle here. So that's super solid. Alright. And then this next one, I get Quagsire lead. So I'm going to try to sneak in a close combat. A lot of times, especially being the lead, it's kind of nice to just throw the move on Primeape. I mean, you could potentially charge up and build up more energy before doing so, but a lot of times if I'm moving that fast, I assume they think I'm just going for the bait move to try to rack up my attack. And as you can see, this person didn't shield, which ultimately put me in a pretty decent position. They bring in Azumarill here, and I'm just going to try to chip as much damage with Body Slam and Mud Slap. And yeah, I'm just going to take the Ice Beam to the face. I will actually switch out to use Gastrodon here as a safe sack, I was thinking. And I take a Play Rough. You know, I wasn't sure if it would be Play Rough or not. And now that I see it's Charizard, I do feel a little remorseful that I didn't shield the move particularly there, because I don't really have a lot of HP remaining on my team. And even though I would be taking super effective damage from the Charizard, it may have been worth shielding at least once in that situation. But yeah, so at this point, I'm just kind of trying my best by spamming Rage Fist, and as you can see, can't really do much. I'm still too low on health. And yeah, I am able to chip away the the Charizard here, but it doesn't really matter because they still are able to pretty much survive, and there's not much I can do there, unfortunately. Talonflame lead. So in this situation, it's actually fine to stay in and just go for Rage Fist. I mean, if you throw your moves properly, you can actually really threaten the Talonflame matchup with Primeape, which is kind of shocking, but it's absolutely possible. And I get both shields, and I decide to just kind of bring in Gastrodon. They end up using Fly here twice, which, you know, it could be double nuke. I mean, it could be double flying move. It could be Flame Charge and Fly. I wasn't entirely sure, so I end up double shielding just to be safe. And yeah, I do end up removing the Talonflame at that point. In comes Wigglytuff, and I'm going to try and just get off as much damage on it as I possibly can. And that ends up working out in my favor, and they end up having a Swampert here in the back. So I'm going to throw the Body Slam, and I'm going to switch into Vanilluxe because I pretty much need to at least get one move off here. I will be able to take at least one Hydro Cannon. So fortunately, I'm able to get off my Avalanche after I get smacked with the Hydro Cannon, and I will be able to remove the Swampert from the field. So yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, that is another 3-2 set. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, I don't know how Vanilluxe doesn't feel too good. I mean, it doesn't feel bad, but I do feel like it would probably shine more. Maybe on a different team or just in a different meta. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the Sass Squad's getting stronger each and every day. You have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you're tuning in. I'll catch you in the next one. And if you'd like to check out more Go Battle League content from me, consider checking out these videos right here.